find it on ProView Networks.
Who is the answer? 68-66. Lobos in the pit last night. Winners, Donovan Dent driving to the hole and getting the bucket is with 3.2 seconds to go. And Lobos, instead of waking up in 7th place this morning, find themselves this morning tied for 3rd. Still with a chance to win the conference championship and much more solid on the right side of the bubble as you head into the last 4 games of the year. Good morning to you. How you feeling? It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM at AM 610, the Sports Animal. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck, DC. How you doing, boys?
What it do?
You all right back there?
Oh, I'm fantastic.
He's working his butt off back there, man. I was spinning all kinds of stuff. JJ's up in Boise, Idaho, where the ladies got beat 58-55. Danny Bays hit a three-pointer with 12 seconds to go to give the Broncos the lead. Ladies had 2 shots at it, JJ, in their final possession, and were unable to win. A tough one on the road for UNM's women.
Heartbreaker in Boise, a heart stopper in the pit. What a night of basketball it was.
It was insane. I'm going to guess that you found the men's game last night. And there's so many things to come down to this. We can get into the final play where the Lobos were on defense and denied Isaiah Stevens. But when Colorado State and Isaiah Stevens hits 2 free throws with about 7 seconds to go up by 1, and I said to Addie, Donnie's going to get to the rim. She's like, what? I said, see number 2 right there, Donovan Dent. He's going to take it and he's going to go to the rim. It's like, Dad, how do you know? If you know, don't they know? If you can sit on the couch and you know, don't they know that they got to stop him? Easier said than done. And JJ, we've asked the question: who's going to have the ball in their hands in a tight game? Who do you trust? Who do you want with the ball? It's Donnie to the rescue, and Donovan Dent was the guy last night. Takes it to the hole with authority, left-handed again. So insanely reminiscent of the New Mexico State game. He gets fouled, makes the free throw, and Lobos wake up in 3rd place instead of 7th. Yeah,
and that's the dangerous thing about New Mexico in the final seconds is there's 3 go-to players in the backcourt that they can get shots from, whether it's Jalen House or Jamal Mashburn if you need a 3. And if you're going downhill coast to coast, it's Donovan Dent. I think it's different. It's if they need a 3, it's House or Mashburn that's going up. But if you need to go full court, Donovan Dent's proven multiple times this year that he can make it happen and get to the rim.
Now, by no means was this beautiful, although the result is, right? The result's all that matters. And again, there's no beauty points. And we'll talk to Jerry Palm from CBS Sports coming up at 8:30 this morning. He's their bracketologist, and I think he'll validate that. The win is the win. You needed to stop that 2-game home. I mean, I don't know if it's a streak at 2 games, but a 3 certainly would have. You needed to stop that. You couldn't afford another home loss. As much as the record's beautiful and the team's good, they needed to win that last night. JJ, it was sloppy. The game was just sloppy. Now, you look at it, and they only turned the ball over 4 times. Jeff, what are you talking about? A lot of missed shots at the rim, a lot of dysfunction. It felt there was a moment, JJ, I thought late in the game where the half-court offensive flow kind of shut down a little bit. But I don't care now. I mean, you found a way to win. Nelly Jr. Joseph was really good defensively. I want to get into the last play. Wasn't beautiful, wasn't their best game. They shot 37.5% from the field, which is not very good, but they won. And really, what did Al Davis say? Just win, baby. Jim Valvano, survive in advance. Well, whatever it is you want, that's what they got last night. And bottom line is they did what they got to do.
Yeah, I'm not worried about the way it looks because these are 2 excellent teams. And when Colorado State is able to respond after a 15-0 run in the first half and go on, I think it was a 22-5 run on their end to get back in the game, the way that both these teams answered down the stretch, it was just clutch basketball. And the reason I look at it, and both teams made it hard at times on the other squad. And so I look at when New Mexico was struggling a bit, it's because Colorado State knows what they're doing, and it's the same thing for the Lobos. And you look at the final 55 seconds, there were 16 total points scored from what Jamal Mashburn did, Cartier, Stevens, Dent, all the big-time players in the final minute made a play.
Yeah, all your big dogs. And I thought Cartier down the stretch, he hit the three, and it was like, oh, there's that dude. That's the guy. Remember yesterday I said, Stevens going to get his, and he got 20. And I thought House was good on him, especially in the final possession. But it was Cartier who hits that three to put them up, and you're just like, holy smokes, and the Lobos come down and score. They get that House bucket, and then he fouls Stevens, and Stevens makes the two. Dent gets the bucket, goes coast to coast, gets fouled. And then, JJ, I thought House denying Stevens on that final inbounds play where Colorado State inbounded the ball. And this was one thing, and I did say at the time, I would have liked to see them guard the inbounds. So when Colorado State with one timeout took the ball out underneath the basket and they threw it to half court, called timeout to set up their play, I would have liked to make that a little tougher. Did that resonate with you at all?
Yeah, I see what you're saying, because it was all it was trying to advance the ball in the front court, call timeout, and then you can set up a play at that point in time. So I understand if thinking you want to put someone on the ball to make that pass harder. If you put length, Nelly or JT in front of the inbounder, it's just a catch and timeout at the end. And I was also surprised that the ball wasn't in Stevens' hands with 2 point whatever seconds.
House did a hell of a job keeping it away from him. I mean, if you go watch that play, House is on him. They couldn't get it to him.
Yeah, and it's one where it feels like you do whatever you can to get the ball into Stevens' hands, to take that last shot, run him off, how many screens you can in 4 seconds before the inbounder has to get the ball in. But it's just credit to just big-time players at the end of that game making plays both ways.
Donovan Dent's going to be with us at 9 o'clock, JJ. We're going to talk to Donnie after going coast to coast and hitting the game-winning shot last night. Really looking forward to hearing what the sophomore has to say about another game winner, a huge win, and how that young man has become, Donnie go-to at the end of the game, right? He's Donnie Buckets. He's Donnie Clutch. He is Donovan Dent, and he will be with us coming up at 9 o'clock this morning. 8:30 this morning, we will talk with Jerry Palm from CBS Sports. He is their bracketologist. He's the guy working on it every day. He's one of the most popular guys in America right now. Like this, when he gets his haircut and he, make sure he's got makeup because he does a lot of TV. And but he makes time for us on Thursdays at 8:30 Mountain Time. So we're going to talk with Jerry Palm and the bracketology and this whole 6 teams in the Mountain West and where everybody stands. And he'll tell us in a vacuum nothing matters. I also want to talk to him about the conversation that's going on in the college football playoff, about a 14-team playoff. They haven't even been expanded to 12 yet, and they're talking about going to 14. And his thoughts, and I certainly have thoughts on that. JJ, a couple more things as we go through this, and we're going to take your calls. We're open for business. Area code 505-246-0610 is how you get here. Area code 505-246-0610. That is both the phone line and the text line here at the Sports Animal. Emails Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com, JJ at sportsanimалabq.com. I checked so many boxes last night. You beat a ranked team. It's a quad 1 victory. It is a close game. And JJ, this wasn't a requisite. It was just something I wanted to see. How are they going to be in close games? And they won a 1-possession game, and they found a guy to do it. They did it both with a guy. I'm going to argue guys hitting clutch shots. In the last minute, Mashburn hit a big shot. House hit a big shot. Dent hits the biggest shot, and then they found a way to clamp down on defense on the last possession. For me, it was check, and a bunch of things that not necessarily they've had to do, certainly in league play.
Yeah, 2 of the last 3 games, they've been able to win 1-possession games. They've hit clutch shots down the stretch. Jamal Mashburn has stepped up in big, and that's what I think is where you can get so much confidence from the Lobos, is in that final possession. There's 3 guys on the floor that can make a tough play, that can hit a tough shot. Like Jalen House's shot was just as big, with the one that he made in traffic, falling down, trying to create something out of nothing. Mashburn getting to the basket, and then knowing that it's twice this season that we've seen Donovan able to go coast to coast and teams not able to stop him. It's also one when you're coming downhill with that type of speed, that momentum, and the team doesn't want to foul you either. And he got his defender on skates right at the end and got to the rim. And it's a very nice thing to have if you're in New Mexico, knowing, all right, they've answered that question. They've won close games in big environments, on the road, at home. And ending that 2-game skid was huge, because now this team, I think they're going to stay on the right side of the bubble the rest of the season.
Yeah, this was huge. All right, let's go. 505-246-0610. We'll hear a little bit of what Richard Pitino had to say, DC. You down with that? So did you see it? Did you down with what happened last night? I mean, did you get a little bit of the magnitude of how big that win was last night?
Certainly. I mean, the difference between 3rd and 7th can't be understated. That was a huge play. 6 seconds left. That he took the season in his hands. He got to win.
Yeah, I don't think that's saying too much. Yeah, you guys, the difference is you wake up this morning and you are in a position still to win your league. Now, I'm not telling you you're going to win your league, but you are in a position now where the 2 teams in front of you in the standings, you still play. You go on the road and you still have a shot at Utah State, who's in first place. You get them at the end of the season. They are a game in front of you at 10-4. And you still play Boise State, who's a half game in front of you at 9-4. You're tied with San Diego State, with whom you split. And you swept the team, one of the teams right behind you, who's a half game behind at Nevada, and UNLV swept you. So, again, Colorado State is in 7th spot. It's the difference, JJ, the difference between being in 3rd and 7th, Colorado State's going to have a hard time not playing on that first day of the conference tournament. They still have to play at UNLV, which is really tough. Now, their schedule's not nearly what New Mexico's is. Then Nevada comes in, Wyoming comes in, they go to Air Force. So, if they win at UNLV, they could go 4-0, and they could get up there. But, JJ, with those 2 road games looming, and that was, you said it yesterday, it was a must-win, and they got it done.
Yes, it's the way it is at this point in the season. It's not just, of course, trying to win a Mountain West regular season title, seeding in Las Vegas, but that resume for the NCAA tournament.
All right, you're already getting in on both the text line and the email, 505-246-0610. Donovan Dent will join us at 9 o'clock this morning. Hope you're able to join us then. If not, and if you're not there, it will be posted wherever you get your podcast. When we come back, I want to get more into this game. And on the defensive side, look, they weren't good offensively last night. Lobos shot 37.5% and only scored 68 points, but still won the game. JJ, I don't think they win a game like this last year, and I'll tell you why they won and what their defense did and how it matters next on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Mirror here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Adventure is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Try this shit better than all my intentions. Locked in shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready.
My coach. My teacher. My older sisters. My grandma. My brother. My tutor. My dad and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
Join us coming up this morning. That'll be at 9 o'clock. Donnie's got class at 9:30. Late night for him. Let him sleep in a little bit. You may wake him up when you call him a little bit, DC. But let's give Donnie a little time to sleep and get to class on time. So, but you're coming in 505-246-0610. Jeffrey, get us started. Good morning, Jeff.
Donnie's got class at 9:30. Jeff, let's respect the man.
I need to respect him and make sure he gets to class.
Yes. Hey, I wanted to get in early because I have to get out of the house, but last night was my favorite game of the season that I've watched the Lobos play, and I think if you were to have not seen the game but described the flow of the game and how it was kind of sloppy and the way it was played, wouldn't you agree that you would have imagined that favored Colorado State?
Yes. Yeah, no, absolutely. The pace, the clunkiness, the missing at the ring, yes.
And here's what I loved, and you can tell me whether you agree or not. I think the Lobos in the second half, I think in the first half, they beat, even though it was tied at the half, they beat Colorado State at the UNM game. The second half, they beat Colorado State at their game because when Colorado State went to that 1-3-1 zone and pushed them out, the Lobos didn't press. They didn't try and speed up the game. They intentionally slowed it down, passed their way out of the zone. They passed, they drove, they took mid-range shots, they drew fouls. And when I saw that, I was like, wow, this is really impressive. I think this is the best second-half adjustment where they played within themselves to what was being presented to them that I had seen. And I was happy to see that the game-winning shot, conversely, came on the Lobos playing their style of basketball. They ran it down the court and just punched them right in the face. They didn't make any passes. They just changed it up again, and Dan obviously made the layup. So I thought last night, even though it was sloppy and a lot of shots were missed, I thought the Lobos showed me a lot last night because it was close and it was sloppy, and they didn't keep pressing by running and forcing passes and very, very few turnovers. Our lowest turnover game of the year, I'm sure. So watching that and watching the way that won that game was really impressive. Again, especially in the second half when Colorado came out with that 1-3-1, I was super impressed with the way they played with patience and within themselves. So
the 1-3-1 was interesting. They found guys in the corner they were relatively patient with. I thought it bothered them a little bit. I thought their half-court offense, when it got tight in the last couple, about a minute before the Mashburn shot, got a little bogged down.
A little bit. I think they got a little sloppy, but I think they didn't press too much, and they just kept playing, right? They didn't. I guess what I'm saying is they didn't look like they panicked, and it didn't faze them too much. They just kept playing their game.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Are we overstating the win, or because I think this was gigantic.
Are you kidding me? Overstating a late in the season final 5-game win where you've got the top 5 and the schizophrenic UNLV beat anybody. on any day and lose to anybody on any day, playing a 22nd ranked team home after you just lost 2 at home, still possibly having a chance to win the regular season title. I think this game was more important than most people realize for a number of reasons, and I think we stepped up big. So, I mean, if we can propel that into some kind of momentum the last few games of the season and carry that into the conference, I think you're looking at, a really scary team.
I think it's a great perspective. Appreciate you. Enjoy the day.
Have a good one.
Thanks, Jeff. JJ, he talked about the composure down the stretch, and I agree with that. I love when you got guys who want the ball. Mashburn, while he was, 6 for 13, I believe, from the field last night, wanted the ball. Jalen House wanted the ball. And obviously Donovan Dent wanted the ball. You've got 3 look, they got Isaiah Stevens, and let me just tell you, down the stretch of the second half, he was fantastic. But they couldn't get him the ball at the end. House hit a huge shot to put him up. Mashburn hit a huge shot to put him up. Got to the rim. 16 points for Mashburn, 16 points for Dent, 14 points for House. But JJ, but remember what I've been asking, and I didn't tell you I didn't think they didn't have it. They haven't been in that situation. I thought it was huge.
And to answer it, 2 of the last 3 games, one of them on the road, one of them at home against a great team. And I use these words because that's what these teams are in Mountain West play. These top 6 right now are fantastic with the wild card that is UNLV that can get you on any given night. And I'm not worried about if it was sluggish at times, because good teams do that to each other. Colorado State didn't look good, and that's because of what New Mexico did to them. But it's how you answer late. It's responses. Colorado State responded, and New Mexico was able to respond in a game that I think down the stretch that the Lobos, even when it was, they had it 55-49 late, and I think there was a sense in the final 4 minutes that New Mexico was going to close this game out. And then you look down, and after Cartier's 3, you're down 1 point in the final 43 seconds. And so many things happened in the final 55 seconds of that game. Again, 16 total points scored between the 2 teams in the final 55 seconds. It was just clutch basketball. And to be able to come out the win, it was huge. Because I think if the Lobos lose this game, while we'll say, oh, no, they have opportunities here, they're on the outside looking in with a lot of work to do. And I think this solidifies them on the right side of the bubble the rest of the way. I think they'll split the last 2 road games, want to get one of them, whether it's in Boise.
Do you think they need to get one now?
I think this gives them a little margin, I guess I would say, for error, a little room where they don't have to. But I think if they do now, then it goes back to the feeling of when we looked at these Final 4 road games, if they went 2-2, and then you figured, if they've got to split with Colorado State, handle their business at home, this team going into Las Vegas would be on the right side of the bubble with a chance to just climb, as opposed to needing to win in Las Vegas again.
Yeah, I think if they lose them both, as Jerry will tell you, it's it's not in a vacuum. If they lose them both, they'll have 1 good win outside of the pit. And will that be enough? I believe it will be. Now it might put them in Dayton, JJ, and I know nobody wants to hear that, right?
It could be first 4 territory at that point.
It might be first 4 if they lose both of the games. Then again, if they get to the final, if they get to Saturday at the tournament, a lot, it's still all up in the air. I think they're in now. I think they're in now. I see no way they lose to Air Force. Air Force got beat last night. That UNLV team that lost to Air Force at home by 34 beat Air Force last night 72-43 at Clemson. By the way, did you watch any of that? That was going from the atmosphere that I just watched, and right before the Lobo game was on, you watched Xavier and Providence, which is a great atmosphere. You watch all these great atmospheres. Chris Jans winning the Egg Bowl in Mississippi State. That great, and then you watch that game at Air Force. You're like, whoa, there's a high school game. Oh no, it's UNLV Air Force, right? I mean, it was, whoa, what a difference. But UNLV turned around, dude. UNLV. If you want a dark horse bet, and I don't know what you get them at to win the conference tournament, but are you going to be stunned if they win the conference tournament? I will not be stunned. I'm not going to pick them.
I can't say I'd be stunned. I don't know if that team could do it
3 nights in a row.
4 games in a row.
They only need to do it 3. Right?
3 or 4 games.
Yeah. They're really good. All right, 505-246-0610. Text line's open. This one says, Aggie killer Donovan Dent does it again with a familiar maneuver. It was super reminiscent, wasn't it? This one says, great win anytime. A great win any time of year. This time of year. A great win this time of year. Seemed like the Lobos forgot to look inside at times. House's D was amazing, Jeff. What'd you think of the lack of looking inside? I thought Nelly was really good last night, JJ.
I think we're at a point where it's easy to overanalyze every possession. That if JT Toppin doesn't get a touch, then the guards did something wrong. Like, you still have guys that are attacking, trying to hit shots. I didn't watch that game last night and think the Lobos missed too many chances because of getting it inside. Because I think that's also the challenge. Like, teams know that you want to dump it inside, so they're not going to make it easy. And so you can't just go down every possession and get the perfect touch you want in the paint. I was fine with last night's game, if that makes any sense. Like, I didn't think, like, oh my gosh, that Mashburn didn't play within the flow of the offense, or this was terrible. It's like, it was just a hard-fought back-and-forth game where each team was trying to take away what the other team wanted to do, and dudes hit shots at them.
And I thought they got the ball to Nelly quite a bit in their half-court offense. I thought there was a effort to get it, and I thought he was really good most of the night. Mike, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hi, Mike.
Hey, guys. Great game. The great thing about yesterday was you get to go watch them win and then go home and watch it again on TV. It was amazing.
Nice.
But, hey, I wanted to bring, I know there's a lot of comment about how the game was kind of sloppy and this and that. And I think really the way I like to look at that game last night is you had 4 turnovers. That definitely is really good play. You had lockdown defense, which is another part of the game. And you had tough shots. And when you slow down the game and every possession now means something and you miss jump shots, it magnifies your misses. And I thought most of those, we would probably make in another game. But last night they were playing themselves, good defense, and contested every shot. And since we slowed it down, I think we're used to seeing run and gun and easy layups. So I would probably put another spin on that game last night. I think it was definitely gritty. I think it was well played. And I like one of the callers made, I like the adjustments that were made throughout the game. And last point is, who would you rather have? 3-point guard. You're not sure who's going to take it down because any one of them are capable of making that shot, including that last shot by House. What an amazing shot that was. Or Stevens. You shut him down, and what did you do? You created havoc with them. So
that's a good call.
My take on that.
Yeah, no, it's a great call. And thanks, Mike. JJ, I don't know that anybody would trade the 3 of them for Stevens, would you? Stevens is terrific. I don't think anybody's going to tell you he's not great, and he scored 20 last night. And he willed them back into the game.
Yeah, it's one that it works. And I know there was that question early on, and it happens all the time in basketball. It's like, well, you have a bunch of dominant guys, one basketball, is it going to work? And it can. And I think the biggest thing for me watching last night's game is the ability to adapt, and the Lobos have to have that. Good teams, you're going to say, hey, this is our style of play, this is what we want to do, but your style of play is not always going to be there because other good teams are going to game plan for you. They're going to throw curveballs at you, and try to throw the speed bumps. And for the Lobos to play a slowdown game, to play a game that's a grind, like, these are the games that are ahead. Those are the games you play in March, and to be able to do that is a positive.
All right, when we come back, what did Richard Pitino have to say after the game? We'll hear that. 9 o'clock this morning, Donnie Big Balls, the guy who hit the big shot. Donnie Big Shot. What do you want to call him? Donnie, what is he, Donnie Dagger? Whatever you want. Find one that sticks. The guy who hit the big shot again. Donovan Dent's going to be with us at 9 o'clock this morning. Looking forward to that. Richard Pitino, what he said after the game when we return from this break. Hey, it's about that time, right? You're thinking about doing some spring cleaning around the house. How about your vehicle? It's one of your biggest investments. Spring clean your vehicle and call On the Spot Automotive Detailing. They'll come out to you and take care of that for you. You don't even have to do it. All you really have to do is make the appointment. On the Spot comes to you. That's right. Where it works for you, when it works for you. You don't take your car in, drop it off, any of that mess. No. You're busier at the office. They come out in the parking lot. They take care of it. They bring everything they need. And when they're done, your car looks and feels and smells brand new, like the day you took it off the lot. That's what all the auto dealers do. They get vehicles detailed. That's what On the Spot does for you, and they are the best at what they do. That's why they were awarded best in the city for 2023. They're reliable. They're efficient. They're the best at what they do. Book online, buy online, and you'll see everything right there. You're going to love when you get this done. It's On the Spot Automotive Detailing, OTSdetailing.com. It's OTSdetailing.com.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, ripped, plastered, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready.
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, rip, plastered, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
Yep. So House fouls Stevens. Stevens goes and makes both free throws. It's 66-65 Colorado State with 7 seconds to go. And Dent goes and hits the shot you just heard, goes coast to coast, makes the free throw. Lobos are up 68-66. CSU inbounds the ball to half court, calls timeout, sets up a shot, could not get the ball to Stevens because House's defense was terrific. And then Nick Clifford, who, by the way, Nick Clifford could ball. He misses the three that would have won the game, and the Lobos escape. No Javonte Johnson last night, by the way, sitting on the Colorado State bench, the former Lobo. There was part of me, JJ, was just hoping to see him get in the game and see how the crowd would respond to him.
Yeah, but he's not a part of the rotation.
No, he's not. No, I mean, he's not. And so that's why he didn't get in. I got a text from Edward. It says Dent essentially saved the Lobos' NCAA tournament chances last night with a great buzzer beater. Amazing. A loss last night at home that would have moved them to 7th in the conference would have been catastrophic and might have busted their bubble. Great win, great player. I don't know that I disagree with any of that. He may have saved their season last night.
Absolutely. It's this time of year, bubble teams can swing dramatically one way or the other. And if you have a lot of work to do at this point in the season, if the Lobos were to lose that game, and then it takes the luster off Nevada, and so that game doesn't mean as much in your overall resume, you're still looking at 2 really difficult road trips ahead, coming here to Boise, going to Logan, Utah to play at Utah State. And there's opportunities, but it's going to be harder to climb that ladder late in the season because other teams have those opportunities, and someone's going to take advantage of it, and someone's not. And so that's why last night's game was just gigantic in the overall scheme of it for the Mountain West race, for the at-large resume. And we've talked about it over the last couple of weeks. Like, it's not hyperbole. You're not overhyping it. When you're in a race for conference title, for an NCAA tournament bid, the next game is always huge, especially when it is a quad 1 game like it was last night.
Difference between waking up this morning in 7th place or 3rd place. The difference between having to climb a bunch of teams just to get a bye in the first round of the conference tournament, or being in a position where you control your own fate and can win a share of the conference championship because the 2 teams in front of you are still on your schedule. I mean, that's literally the difference. The difference in getting another quad 1 win or losing 3 in a row at home when you've got a national pundit who basically has called you a home court hero, right? I mean, that's what it was. Here's last night on post-game show. This is courtesy of the UNM Sports Radio Network. Robert Portnoy, Hunter Green talking to head coach Richard Pitino, and this was your head coach's reaction immediately after the win.
Yeah, amazing, obviously, in the history of the program to do something. I did not want to walk out of this building with a loss. I could not bring myself to have 3 in a row. So very, very proud of them. We played great defense in the second half until Stevens got going, and he's so good. But more than anything,
almost dropped a bomb there.
Donovan Dent making plays down the stretch was huge. I thought Jamal Mashburn Jr. did some amazing things as well. So overall, just an awesome win. We had to find a way to get it done.
Yeah. What do you hear in his voice? Jubilation, excitement, or relief? No, honestly.
All the above.
Yeah.
Like this, and you should feel that after a game like that. It's just a huge sigh of relief, but knowing that it's going to be like this in the majority of the games the rest of the way.
I think that's right. I think they have again, I won't say easy, but I think a relatively comfortable win on Saturday. And Saturday's going to be crazy to me. because I think Air Force, this is going to be one of those, we're coming off of the emotion of this game last night, and Air Force is 1-12, I believe, in conference. So coming off of that, and then going into what you're going to play on Saturday, there may be a little bit of a first half letdown, but then they'll go and they'll blow them out of the building in the second half, and they'll take care of business. And then they got to go to Boise, and JJ, the key one now, as far as moving up a line and getting off of that bubble to go to Dayton, the key one to me is in Boise. If they can win one in Boise, it's going to be so hard to go into Logan that last game of the year. And it could be for a conference championship. Look, if the Lobos win in Boise, that's for a conference championship, assuming they hold serve against Fresno State. Like it will be for a share of the conference championship. That's how big that game will be in the last game of the season. Second half was the difference. Lobos, and it was tight the whole way, but the defense, Pitino talked about the second half, and specifically about Nelly Jr. Joseph, who I thought was really good last night. The senior had 13 points, 12 rebounds, played 36 minutes, and was a presence down low.
Nelly was really good. That was one of his best games. He was disruptive. He made amazing plays. Proud of him, he's such a good kid. He works so hard. Like you said, it was a rock fight. It wasn't going to be beautiful. We were really guarding for most of the second half until the end there. And then some missed free throws. Man, that hurt us. But more than anything, we just, we knew they were going to come back. And we built some leads. They came back. They built some leads. But we just made huge plays at the end.
Was there a time where you thought free throws were going to cost them the game? They were 15-23 at the free throw line, which is 65%. Nelly missed half of his free throws. He was 3 of 6. But they were in big situations down the stretch. Dent missed one down the stretch. Were you concerned? Because there was a time where I'm like, you know what, man, this might be one of those games. Because I'm not gonna lie to you, I was a little nervous for him down the stretch.
Well, there was a moment in back-to-back possessions where Dent went 0 for 2, Mash went 1 for 2.
I think that was the stretch where I'm like, wow. Okay,
so
I want those guys.
1 for 4 right there, and that was 54-47 after that stretch. And those are the moments that they keep in your back of your mind, because then Toppin went 1 for 2 a couple of possessions later, and it just it gives Colorado State just enough of an opportunity. They hit some shots that they stay in that game.
All right, DC, you got this one. Oh, you can't play the hater. DC's computer's down. Haters gonna hate. Will you sing it? Can you sing it for me?
I think you can.
I know you can. I know you can.
Kidding me.
JJ, not everybody thinks it's that big of a win. Different spin from Dan. It says Jeffrey, Juan Jose, and Desmond Craig. CSU was 7.5-point dogs. So to come down to a 4-0 finish has to feel like a win for Ramit and others, if you know what I mean. And a loss for Lobo basketball. Yeah, that's a different spin, Dan. And if you bet the Lobos, yeah, that's right. Then you lost. That line jumped to 8.5. I saw before the game. And
that was not a good line from Vegas.
No, what are we doing? I told you yesterday I thought they'd win by 5. They won by 2. 6.5 was way too thick. This is the 22nd ranked team in the country, a team that beat you by 11, a team that's really good, and you've lost 3 in a row at home. I didn't understand 6.5, and I sure as hell didn't understand when it went to 8.5. You're right, Dan. If you're holding a slip on the Rams, and you don't care, yeah, you won. No, that's right. I mean, if you're just betting the game, I won. They didn't. I did. All right, I got a couple more emails on last night's game. Again, Richard Pitino, you just heard from. We're going to hear from Jerry Palm from CBS Sports coming up at 8:30 this morning. And then Donnie Big Shot is going to be with us, or Big Shot Don, as somebody wants to call him on the text line. He's scheduled to be with us coming up at 9 o'clock this morning. Hey, for years I've been telling you about IPS. They offer you standard standing guards. In 24-hour patrols, they protect your home, protect your business. They've protected mine for years. Well, you may not know IPS also installs home alarms. In Albuquerque and in Santa Fe, they've been doing this for years, but they want to remind you, if you've got an alarm, you're much more likely to not be a victim of break-in. The IPS technology team also installs video cameras that will record videos of criminals who vandalize or steal your property, and the video will help police in their investigation. When bad guys see surveillance, it discourages criminal activity. And IPS will set you up with access control for your business, so the only people who get in are the only ones authorized to get in. Sign up and have IPS monitor your alarm and your cameras, and when they see something or the alarm goes off, they're there within 7 minutes or less. With trained, armed security personnel, they will get there and make sure everything's all right. IPS provides the manpower, the technology to protect you, your family, your property. It's a winning combination. The number's 505-897-2420. 505-897-2420 or online at ipsglobal.com. Passionate about making Albuquerque and Santa Fe better and safer to live in.
Get into the sink on the offense. Here's Renfro.
Renfro throws up a wild one and scores.
So turning potential lemons into lemonade is Archuleta. Steverson pulls up from deep. Are you kidding?
Oh, he's going to go up with it. No good. Too strong. Loose ball. Going to get kicked right into the hands of Jackson. Here comes Mitchell. Mitchell puts that one in. A little bit of a baby dunk, but
Drive, looking to spin. Blocked from behind by Creighton Johnson. 3-on-2 for Sandia. Thomas Adams goes all the way, and he's fouled.
Look out, layup.
Lund
There
in
we
transition.
go.
Get out the phone. Slam dunk. David Lund.
Dyer. Dyer is going to get that one absolutely sent back.
A floater from 5 feet. Stolen away. Steverson. Here comes the money. Dunk.
And that could be a dangerous thing for El Dorados. That's just going to be stolen by Chavez, and he's going to put that one down.
Pius 30, Highland 26, Lincoln on the inbound. Lincoln going to try to get to the three-point line. He steps back, puts up the three. Yes! At the buzzer, Jesus Lincoln. McConnell stops his dribble under 5 seconds. Stolen away by Hernandez. Hornets on the move. Hernandez going to get the shot up, and it goes at the buzzer. Back-to-back buzzer beaters for Highlands.
Looking to find some space. He does. Puts it up with the right hand. No, Steverson.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman!
This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom! Boom!
What's going on? Who are you guys?
Well, sir, I'm going to pick you up at the DWI checkpoint for drunk driving.
And that's when I have to come down to get you out of jail.
Well, temporarily. I'm Judge Torres. They call him the Hammer. Hey, hot off the presses, champ.
I'm real proud of you, honey.
Way to make them happy back home, Captain. Who's that? That's your new buddy in jail.
I'm going out, Grandma.
When are you coming home?
I'll be home late. Don't wait up, okay?
Be careful, mijito.
Love you, Grandma.
Mijito, he's a good man. Sometimes he just makes bad decisions. I tell him, Mijito, cuidado, be careful. You might hurt someone. He doesn't listen.
I tell you to stop, okay?
Hello.
It's me.
Hi, mijo, where are you?
Miguel was drinking and driving. I need you to come and get me, okay? Please, Grandma? Can you just come and get me? Grandma?
Leave him in jail.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, rip, plastered, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is Pro View. From pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on Pro View Networks.
In the pit, I don't see that. They're better than Fresno State, who's really scuffling. Those are your two home games. But if they lose all the rest of their games, that would be 5 in a row. They're out. Fair? And they deserve to be, by the way. If they lose 5 in a row.
Well, that would be 4, right?
They got a conference tournament game.
Yeah. Oh, if they lost their last 5, you're probably not going to the NCAA tournament.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what to tell you if that happens. All right, I held this one because I needed to do a little investigation on this. And so I have, and it's this great game, crappy result, JJ. Hey, Jeff, I think you may hear more about this than just this email this morning, just a heads up. And if not, I'm going to use you as a spout. I love the game last night. I love when the guys work hard to get it done. Dent is proving more and more that he is nails. The crappy result came after leaving the game, getting to where our cars should have been. So we got to them, they were gone. At least 20 of our cars had been towed for no reason at all. We were all in the lot across Cesar Chavez on the west side, on the road west of University at the first building on the west side of that access road that is now a police substation. He says, it's from John. He says, I've been parking in that lot for 30 years, not exaggerating or anything, but APD got a power trip and towed these cars. There's no sign anywhere in the lot that says no parking, no curbs painted, nothing roped off. There's signs for designated spaces that say police cars only. Nobody parked in those spaces. There were cops parked in those specific spaces, and I even talked to them as I got out of the car. Nobody said anything about being parked in a place to be towed. They didn't put a sticker on the cars to warn anyone or even give out tickets. They towed 20 cars on a whim. What a great way to treat fans who come out to a late night midweek game. Here, pay $200 more bucks and good luck finding a way home. Really, really pathetic. I hope you read this. I bet you hear from others about it today, but it needs to get out there, and you and a person whose business could be affected by this as well might want to find out why it happened. Have a good day, Jeff. $235 lighter. It's from John. JJ, that sucks. And so I did reach out. Here's what I got. First of all, how do you know in this town if your car's been towed or stolen? Like, if you went out and your car wasn't there, would you think it was towed or would you think it was swiped? I'm not lying.
If it's just one, I'm wondering if it's swiped. But if it's 20, I feel like they got towed.
I guess that's right. All right, here's what I got. Because I know that UNM is working with APD to figure out what happened, and that's a new substation. But I was told one car was towed in the area, that this individual mentioned. Car evidently was parked blocking an entrance to the substation. All other cars were parked in spaces. They took pictures of the car blocking the entrance. The substation commander said that they had the vehicle towed because of where it was parked. So I'll look into it. But John, I'm on it. I did ask the question. If you're telling me that there were 20, let me find out a little bit more. But that's why I didn't read it earlier. But how do you know? If you went out and your car was gone, would you think it was stolen? I would.
Yeah, it would go through my head. I've never had a car stolen, so it probably wouldn't be my first thought, but I would come to that pretty quickly. Yeah.
All right, so it's 10:40 last night. You go out, it's chilly. You stoked, your team won, you're tired, you want to get home. Then what? I mean, that sucks.
Yeah, that's all of a sudden that you're looking at like I'm not getting home till 1 o'clock. That's great.
And how? And how do I get my car? And how am I getting to work in the morning?
Yeah, $60 Uber. Good.
Because where do you go? Like, how do you? Honestly, I don't know the answer. Your car gets towed. How do you find it? Because there's probably not a sign up. There's nothing left there that says, "Hey, if you want your car, it's at this." Like how do you? I honestly, I'm asking. I don't know the answer. What do you do with that situation? You guys know?
If there's no one running the parking, no one to ask, and no signs, yeah, that's a tough go. You probably go up and ask someone at the stadium or the arena. That's a tough spot, though.
I don't know what to do. All right, Jay Palm, CBS sports bracketologist, 8:30. JJ, I don't know what's his. Does he put one out every day now? Feels like it. Go through his latest brackets. Last one he did was this morning at 8:57. 8:57 this morning. You like the 8-9 line? That means you get like Purdue in the second round if you get through the first one. It's the opening drive. Jeff JJ DC on 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Mir here. And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay. We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field. 505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space. And you can be part of it.
Try this shit better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. See your baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Spout, get ready.
My coach. My teacher. My older sisters. My grandma. My brother. My tutor. My dad and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together
Pull together
Pull together.
to make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, rip, plastered, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
Bob Clark just came in from News Radio. He's here. What time? He's here before you, right? I mean, he's on the air at 5:30 in the morning. So he just came in. Okay, so when Den hit the shot, were they down one? It walked him through it, and it's not for everyone. This will go first is yawn. It's not a big deal. You know, he wasn't impressed either. Jeff, I'm on my way to a big business meeting in Northwest New Mexico this morning, so I didn't watch the late night contest. I only saw a couple of highlights as I was flying out the door this morning. Why did CSU stop the ball? You learned in 6th grade you don't let someone go the length of the field to get to the rim. It's from Gopher. So Gopher's not impressed, JJ, which is fine. I'm sure everybody's fine with that. I don't have the hater soundtrack, and you're on mute.
I'm not on mute. I don't have anything to say to that, man.
I thought I saw your lips.
Dude, yeah, you had to go to bed because you had work. Welcome to life.
Yeah, life.
And you want me to be like, oh my gosh, I'm sorry, Gopher, you didn't get to see a basketball game.
And if they played the game earlier, it would not have been on TV because there wouldn't have been a window for you. So you wouldn't have seen it anyway, and the rest of us wouldn't have got to see it. So we actually got to see it.
And I stayed up later because I watched the entire game because we got back about 8:40 from our game. So
see, why couldn't they do it later for you, man?
And I wish the opening drive would have started at 8 instead of 7 this morning.
Can we work on that? Hey, can you get that done?
Let me get right on that.
Yeah, all right. Peter, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hi, Peter.
Hey, good morning, fellas. How are you?
Good. How you living?
I'm pretty good. So I'm a traveler. I work at the hospital. Unfortunately for me, I got called back into work last night, and I wanted to check out a Lobos game, so I got there about 8:10 with Uber. And as I left at 8:30 with an Uber, even the Uber driver had mentioned to me, listening to what you guys were talking about earlier, like, uh-oh, they have the tow trucks out tonight. Looks like they're going to tow some people.
Really?
And I didn't think anything of it until this morning when I hear you guys.
So where'd you
radio.
see the tow trucks, Peter? Where were they?
I'm not too familiar with the pit itself, but it was the side where there's, I think, wolf statues.
All right, so basically right across the street.
Yeah, and as we're leaving, right on the main road there was like a few trucks and, lights blinking, and I guess they started towing people for whatever reason.
Yeah, and according to the last emailer, there were no signs. He says he's been parking there for 30 years, and all of a sudden last night they did it. So yeah, I got some out to APD too and UNM, and so I know they're working on it. That's a new substation over there. But no, so that's it. So did you go to the game?
Yeah, I was there for about 20 minutes. It was great to be there. Go Lobos. Hopefully we'll see Pacino versus Pacino at the big dance, and I love listening to you guys.
Right on. Appreciate you, Peter. Thank you very much. Be well.
All right, fellas.
That's interesting. I don't know, guys. I didn't see it, but like I said, I'm trying to get you some info on it. Nothing makes you feel any better if it doesn't make you feel any better. I'm sure. All right, this one, I'll get that back to you here in a little bit. All right, 505-246-0610. Keep them coming. We're going to talk with Jerry Palm coming up at 8:30 this morning from CBS Sports, and then Donnie Big Shot. Which one we going with? Donnie Dangerously? The Don? You just like the Don?
The Don.
The Don.
It's epic.
All right, it is pretty good. I'm not going to lie to you. JD, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal.
Morning, guys. It was a great game. I felt everything that everybody else felt. The relief at the end was amazing because I thought that their season kind of was hinged on that game last night, and they pulled it out and they came through. I like Donnie Dagger, but Dagger's more like a 3.
Yeah.
But I do like Donnie Don. That's a good one, too. Thinking of T-shirt ideas to get him some NIL money.
Right.
But I did want to say, as we were leaving the game, we saw 2 cars being towed from that lot, and we parked in that lot. Almost did last night, but I parked directly across the street from it. People have been parking in there for years, but we did see those cars towed. We were asking ourselves, why are they getting towed tonight?
So
we saw 2 of them on trucks, and that was late. What time the game in? I mean, you know.
So
it was pretty late.
Basically, what you're telling me is you've parked in that lot before. So this is it the dirt lot or it's the paved lot, kind of just where that new police substation is? Right.
Yeah,
right. Just
it's that first building just directly north of the pit when you go on that side of parking.
Yeah, there's an access road between the administration building and what's now a police substation, and there's a lot right there.
Yeah. When I didn't see where the cars are being pulled from, but we saw the 2 cars on the trucks leaving. So somewhere in that area, right? We assumed it was from that building, and there are signs in there that say security and police parking only, and we've never used those, but people have been parking in there for years. I just thought it was strange that cars were getting towed last night. We assumed that those cars had probably blocked something, but it wasn't a complete sellout, which would have been odd, right?
Yeah. Interesting. All right, man. I appreciate you.
Thanks. Yes.
Wow. I don't know, guys. I'm working on it. I'm trying to figure it out. But that's 3 people who said, man, yeah, this place we've parked for years. I don't know. Well, I'm working on it. All right. Text line 505-246-0610. JJ, big play at end of game may have been House's inadvertent foul with 7 seconds left. Yes, Stevens made his free throws, but 7 seconds was enough time for Dent to go the difference and make his driving winning bucket. That's an interesting perspective from Charles, JJ. If House fouls him with 2 seconds to go, we got a problem.
Oh, yeah. And that is why it's easier said than done. The whole, why don't you stop ball? Because if you stop ball, that can happen. Is you send the dude to the foul line. And so that's a challenge. If you're Colorado State, if you wanted to stop the ball, you should have picked up full court at that point in time and not let a player like Donovan Dent
get ahead of steam.
Because at that point in time, you stand in front of him, and it's 50-50. It's block or charge, or you're sending the dude to the free throw line.
I promise you that the Lobos did not want to foul Isaiah Stevens in that situation. That was, in the text says inadvertent, and that was an unintentional foul. That's not, you're up by 1, you want to go get a stop. But if there was a silver lining to that gray cloud, it was that there were 7 seconds instead of 2, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. This one says nicknames. Number 1, Donnie Layup. Number 2, Donnie Dagger. Number 3, Donnie Two-Piece. It's from Mike. Okay. I think the Donnie Dagger's kind of the play. It's kind of what I called the play at New Mexico State, the Donnie Dagger. Right? When he hit that shot that coast to coast on the 15th of December to win at New Mexico State. That was kind of the Donnie Dagger. That was the name of the play.
Yeah, and I really like that name for that play because it was spot on, but it kind of works for this one too.
Yeah, no doubt.
No, I think you're right. Nickname for the play, not the player.
Okay. Text line, at least the car was towed, not stolen. Yeah, there's another. I appreciate y'all coming up with silver linings today. I love the positivity this morning. Every silver lining's got a touch of gray, but every gray cloud's got a silver lining, I imagine. Gopher called it a field. That tells you all you need to know about Gopher. Okay. This says Don the King. Okay. It's good. I like the way you're playing along and contributing this morning. We'll run a bunch of them by Donnie at 9 o'clock. Donovan Dent scheduled to be with us at 9 o'clock this morning. All right. Elsewhere, the ladies were on the road. And, JJ, I want you to hit this a little bit. A tough loss, and put big picture it, because now you're on your way to Laramie. Lobos lose 58-55 in Boise. Danny Bays for Boise State hits a 3-pointer with 12 seconds to go as the winner. Nia Wilson and Vianney Cumber each had 15 for UNM in a loss that this was a pretty big one on their schedule too.
It was, because now they lost the tiebreaker to Boise State, who's also 9-5 in league play. And so you have Boise State, Wyoming, New Mexico, all 9-5. Yeah, it's like sitting there at 9-6. UNLV won in overtime in Laramie last night, so they pretty much locked up top seed in the Mountain West Conference. They're 13-1 overall. And for the Lobos, it was a frustrating game because, the Paulo Reyes was out. So you're starting for a player that does so much for you. And in terms of the flow of the offense and what she can do defensively, especially playing a big Boise State team. And they struggled early, man. They were 3 of 21 in the first quarter. And grinded their way back, outscored Boise State in the second half, had a 55-53 lead with 1:27 left, and then a little bit of a breakdown right at the end of a possession. Everyone's scrambling. Bays gets the open three, come down. Cumber misses a 3 with 4 seconds left. You have to foul, then it's a 3-point game, and then you're not able to get the final shot up in the front court with 2 seconds. And just a bummer with how hard they fought back. And last 2 road losses, man, they've had a player out of the starting lineup. So if you're UNM, you keep your fingers crossed and hope that at least the rest of the way you can have your starting 5 together.
Yeah. All right, on to Laramie, and JJ will have the call. It'll be, when's your next game? Saturday afternoon?
2 o'clock Saturday.
Same time that the men play. So they'll go concurrent here on the Sports Animal and over on News Radio KKOB. All right, when we come back, I got some other stuff going on. And if you want to get into what's going on elsewhere, whether it's the Justin Fields conversation, what Nick Saban had to say, Lakers and Warriors tonight, it's all on the table for you. I've got a lot of comments on the Lobo win last night. It was big, 68-66 over Colorado State. And then coming up at 8:30 this morning, Jerry Palm, CBS Sports bracketologist, will be with us where the Lobos are in his latest bracket. I'll tell you that when we get back. And 9 o'clock, Donnie Big Shot Don, Donovan Dent, scheduled to be with us at 9 o'clock on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This report is sponsored by Discover. Did you notice?
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Spell, get ready!
My coach. My teacher. My older sisters. My grandma. My brother. My tutor. My dad and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Mir here. And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay. We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field. 505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space, and you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I give you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, ripped, plastered, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
ANML. Now, according to Jerry Palm right now, and he released a bracket, JJ, this morning, today being the 22nd, correct? Came out this morning at, 8:57 Eastern, 6:56, 7 o'clock this morning. So it's an hour and a half old. Not even. New Mexico is an 8 seed. You like that? You like the 8? The 8's a tough line, man. 8-9 game. You're in white shirts playing Texas in the first round, according to him. The winner gets Purdue and Zach Edey. Assuming that Purdue can get through the winner of South Dakota State and Norfolk State, or Eastern Kentucky and Merrimack. That's the Jerry Palm latest. There's 6 teams in. He's got San Diego State and Colorado State as a 4, Utah State as a 5, New Mexico an 8, Boise State, Nevada as a 9. You like that?
I like being in the tournament. I don't like being an 8 or 9 seed.
This is the slope you're on right now, right? I think you'd almost rather play out of the 10 hole because you're getting a game. When you're a 10, you get. I don't know. Is it any better getting a 2 in the second round than a 1? I mean, maybe. You get Tennessee instead of Purdue. You get Carolina instead of UConn. You get Marquette instead of Houston. You get Kansas instead of Arizona in the second round. If you get,
you're gonna play a good team at some point in time.
Yeah,
it's NCAA tournament.
Yeah, the 8's a tough spot, but that's where you're living right now, according to Jerry Palm, and he's going to be with us coming up in just a few minutes. Dan sent me a text. He thinks Donnie. He says Donnie sounds like a child, something more like a man. I don't know, Donovan Dag. You like Donovan Dag? All right. DC came up with Donnie Deuces. You like that?
I think this is just a great opportunity to have a shirt with all of them.
All of them?
Just like down the back.
Yes.
And this is like pick your favorite.
Donnie Too Smooth, he said too, which is actually really, really cool. But Donnie Deuce is like peace sign out. Deuces means 2. He wears number 2. I don't know. I'll run a ball by him. See what he thinks. 505-246-0610. Donnie Big Shot's going to be with us coming up at 9 o'clock. I got a bunch more on this parking thing on the text line, 505-246-0610. So, go Lobos. I love the grit. Mashburn just keeps shooting. That's on the text line. This one says, it says, I was in the parking lot of the new police substation. I was parked in that lot, but not in any of those spaces with white signs, and my truck was left alone, thank God. I think people parked in spaces reserved with white signs. I don't know. I mean, this what the gentleman told me, no. Obviously, the no parking towaway area should have been well or properly marked. Okay. All right, I'm not going to get into the parking thing much more. This one says, why is it so hard for us to keep a lead once we get ahead? That was annoying for me. It was a great game, but stressful per usual from my wonderful Lobos. Woof, woof. It's from Jessa. JJ, it's hard because the other team's playing, man.
Yeah.
I mean, why is it hard to keep a lead? And that's totally fair. They were up, weren't they up like 7 with about 4 minutes to go? Something like that?
They had it 55-49.
That's 6. That's like 7, but it's only 6.
Yes. With 3:54 left.
All right, and that's like 4 minutes. So yeah, close to that. So it was they were up by 6 with just under 4 minutes to go. Missed a shot. Offensively, it was a tough night. And so Jessa, why? They got shots. They struggled offensively last night. They just did. They shot 37.5% last night. Nobody went off last night. And you figure, okay, with all that firepower, somebody's going to have a game. And we still had 4 guys in double figures. I mean, Denton Mashburn with 16, House with 14, and Nelly with 13. But there was really not a go-to somebody hot last night. So, special guest in the house last night. JT, the vice president for NCAA basketball, Danny Gavitt was in the house last night. He was a guest of the athletic director. So the VP of NCAA basketball got a pretty good show last night as well. Had to enjoy what he saw in the pit. Steven, you want to get in on the debt nicknames. What do you got, Steven?
How you doing this morning? Great game last night. I was unable to attend, but I was able to watch it from Perth on the CBS Sports app.
Nice.
But I got a couple names for Mr. Dent there. Since he's a Terminator-like player at the end, we can call him the Detonator.
Nice. Okay.
We can call him D-Train.
Okay.
We got Dashing Dent and Dub D.
Dub D. All right. Good. I appreciate.
That's what I got for you.
Yeah. No, thanks, Steven, and appreciate the call. D-Train's kind of that one's reserved, isn't it, in Lobo lore?
Yeah, I think it's for a running back.
That's Dontrell Morris.
Yeah.
I mean, he's D-Train, so I can't really peel that one away. I mean, Dontrell Moore's D-Train. He's the best running back, at least in modern Lobo history, and he was good. Detonator. That's good. Yeah, run them all by him. Run them by him. JJ, was there a moment last night that bothered you, made you happy, that stands out? Because, I mean, obviously the Dent bucket's going to be the one, but was there something underneath the blanket a little bit, kind of peel back a little bit and say, all right, that one right there is going to tell me something?
The way that they're able to adapt to a slower game. See, I'm not like worried that they only shot 37% because you have to win games like this late in the season and come March. But I'll go back to something that I've been saying for a while. And when you have a good basketball team, people are looking for, who's the best player, which one of these guys you're going to take. JT Tapa needs more shots, this or that. I think the biggest key to the Lobos is Nelly Jr. Joseph. Because when Nelly is engaged defensively, he is a difference maker. Then all of a sudden you have 2 dudes stopping players at the rim. When he is aggressive rebounding, you have 2 guys that can gobble up any misses that are out there. And it's those moments. Like, did you see that dude cross over and dunk from the top of the key? Like, he has some ridiculous moves in him when he is just confident and going. And I think he's the biggest key to the Lobos. You're not going to say, oh, he's their best player. He's the one that's hitting the go-to shots. But he does the little things on both ends of the floor this team needs.
And he was big last night. Richard Pitino, you heard earlier on this show, he told Robert and Hunter last night after the game that was maybe the best game Nelly's played. And I told you, what was the game before this? Where were they? San Diego? So I thought the Nevada game. JJ, I told you, remember coming out of that, I thought, God, he just looked bigger, right? He looked bigger. He played bigger in that game. And maybe he's just kind of finding his comfort zone right now. But I agree with you. He was big in this game. And there were times throughout the night that the offense ran through him, that they got it into the post. and he was able to create. Now, they missed a lot down low, and that was part of their shooting problems. But he was 5 for 8. And I agree with you. I thought he was terrific last night. And look, JT Toppin has been great. If you get both your bigs going, you're going to be a tough team to handle. You just are.
Man, that's, to me, I think he's the biggest key to this puzzle for the Lobos, just because he does all the little things, and when he is locked in, and you get the feeling that he's playing bigger than he is, and he's just effective on both ends of the floor. That's the difference for the Lobos. Those are the things that this team was missing last year. The presence inside, especially defensively, and you have that with 2 guys.
Text line says, anybody mentioned how on that big shot, Donnie totally had the defender on skates right before he made the winning basket last night? Yeah, and that's what, JJ, you were talking about, picking up full court. They let him get ahead of steam, and by the time he got there, Nico Medved, the coach of Colorado State, said we figured we'd go back and set up a wall at the top. We knew they were going to go to the basket, and he said Dent just split between us. So they intended to stop the ball with a wall kind of out at the 3-point line, and he just got right through him. And
it's like we're just going to send 5 guys standing in a line. Let's go.
Yeah, that was his comment after. Text line says, Donnie, big shot is my vote. And Mud says, Donnie Lobo. Okay. They're all out there. Donovan Dent scheduled to be with us coming up at 9 o'clock this morning. When we return, his latest bracket came out about an hour and a half ago. He is the bracketologist at CBS Sports, one of the most popular guys in America right now. Jerry Palm will be with us. We'll talk to him about the latest bracket, what the Lobo win means, what it looks like at the very top. UConn got beat this week. They're the number 1 team. It's the opening drive. Jerry Palm's next on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This report is brought to you.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman!
Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom! Boom!
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here. And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay. We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field. 505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space. And you can be part of it.
You make my heart better. Try this shit better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. See your baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky.
Or maybe first 4 out.
It definitely would have dropped. I don't know. I didn't think about it. It would be hard to say for sure, but yeah, they're definitely falling down if they continue to lose at home. I mean, they're kind of a home court hero, but you can't really be a home court hero if you stop winning your home game. So, yeah, that was a big win. 2 more at home that they need to take care of, taking care of business kind of games, and then see what you can do on the road with Boise State and Utah State.
Yeah, they got the 2 teams in front of them in the standings, still on their schedule and both on the road. I got a text or an email yesterday, and I'm going to paraphrase because I can't exactly find it, but it said to ask you on the term home court hero. They talked about San Diego State, and in league San Diego State really doesn't have a big road win. They do have the win at Gonzaga, and I was asked to ask you to kind of explain them as a 4 seed, why the computers love them so much when, according to the email, they haven't done much on the road.
Their 2 best wins are away from home. Away from home doesn't mean just road games, neutral site games. So for the conference tournament for the Mountain West, those will, neutral site wins are away from home. So those are good. San Diego State has beaten St. Mary's neutral and won at Gonzaga. Their next best win away from home is Washington. They're not terrible, but the thing that stands out about San Diego State, 5 quad 1 wins, all of their losses, all 7 of them are quad 1 losses. So they haven't really done anything to hurt themselves dramatically. And there's something to be said for being consistent. The committee knows what to expect from you. So, but yeah, not overwhelming away from home. Most teams are not. But at least they've beaten tournament quality opposition away from home, and that's an important thing.
Yeah, so there's the answer. He's Jerry Palm, CBS Sports. He's with us on the Sports Animal.
You know, Jerry, at this point in time when you're taking pretty much a snapshot of the game each day, what's the biggest thing that can help a team right now? And of course, is it quad 3 or quad 4 loss that is just going to destroy your chances at this moment?
Yeah, bad losses are obviously, like a quad 3 or quad 4, especially quad 4 loss at this time of year is not great. It's not good any time of year, but you certainly don't want to add one if you're a team near the bottom of the bracket. And the best thing that you can do is beat, tournament quality opposition or somebody in contention for the tournament off your home floor, on the road, neutral, however you do it. Prove that you can beat tournament quality opposition away from home. I mean, that was what was holding New Mexico back so long until they won it in Nevada. That's what their biggest problem was. And then they finally got that win in Nevada, and that was huge for New Mexico. And that's really, if you want to impress the committee, the kids, they're not playing. You're not playing on your home floor in the tournament. So show them that you can play well off your home floor.
Yeah, Jerry, when we urging really game tonight, Washington State and Arizona. And Washington State is a team that's nipping at the Wildcats' heels. What do you make of that matchup?
Yeah, Washington State had it's been just a dismal year for the Pac-12 in almost every respect. But, of course, Arizona is a potential national champion, and Washington State has emerged from the pile of mediocrity behind them to be a borderline top 25 team. They've had a really good year, and I forget the name of their coach, just jumped out of my head, but he deserves some, if not conference coach of the year consideration, maybe even some national coach of the year consideration for the job that they've done there. They beat Arizona the first time at home. Really, only the loss at Santa Clara is dragging their resume down at all. After the Arizona game tonight, they've got 4 winnable games. They go to Arizona State, and then they get 3 at home. And they have a chance to really finish strong and try and make a push up the bracket even more.
Now, when you talk about the top of the bracket, Arizona, you got as a 1 seed. UConn got blown out the other day. It still is number 1 overall. Again,
I don't have them number 1. I went back to Purdue after UConn.
Oh, do you? Okay, I expanded it. Okay.
No, I don't know if everybody agrees with that, but I went back to Purdue after UConn.
All right. It feels like the 1 line, though, is pretty solid. Something drastic's going to have to change. UConn, Purdue, Houston, Arizona, whatever order you got.
I don't know that Arizona is safe. In fact, I'm not even 100% sure they couldn't be jumped even if they went out.
Interesting.
Just because the teams chasing them all have much more of an opportunity to resume build and add win, and could pass Arizona, while the only quad 1 games that Arizona has is Washington State, I guess, neutral, left on their schedule. So, it's a problem for Arizona to try and to get the kinds of wins they need to hold off competition. So Arizona, first of all, I mean, you've got to, even if they won the rest of their games, somebody could chase them down. And of course, if they don't win all the rest of their games, they're almost certainly not going to be a 1.
You mentioned something. You mentioned National Coach of the Year. Is Logan, Utah too remote for a place like that? What Danny Sprinkle's done, they had 0 points returned. 0.
He should definitely get consideration. I would agree, because they turned over their whole roster, right?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I mean, all of their points. Like there might have been a few bench guys there, but no returning points from last year. There were 3 teams in America: them, New Mexico State, and I want to say like Northwestern State or something. And they are.
And they could win the league.
Yeah.
That's remarkable. And not just the league, but a really good year for the Mountain West. And obviously they're part of that. But, yeah, he should be part of that conversation as well.
Jerry, we've talked about Gonzaga this season and a team that's fighting for a tournament berth and a March Madness contender that we always expect them to be there. Michigan State, are they feeling the heat right now?
Yeah, they're both in a bit of trouble still. I have Gonzaga the last team in, starting yesterday. They were the last team in, and then the A-10 Dayton lost. That put another A-10 team in the bracket, but Gonzaga's still there because Cincinnati lost and fell out. But yeah, I don't think Gonzaga can stay there if they don't beat St. Mary's. At some point this season, I think they have to beat St. Mary's unless they win the conference tournament without beating St. Mary's, which could happen, of course. But if the Gonzaga doesn't beat St. Mary's at some point, if they're 0-3 against St. Mary's, I don't see how they make the NCAA tournament.
Right. I know you're totally into the hoops. I'm going to ask you a football question because I saw this, and I know there's a lot of conversation. How much validity do you put in the conversation? They haven't even gone to 12 teams in the college football playoff yet, and there's talk about expansion to 14. Do you think that's good? Because 12 feels right to me where I'm sitting, but obviously I'm sitting in a biased seat. So from where you are, does 14 sound right, or does 12 feel like the right model?
Well, 14 is a weird number to bracket.
Right.
And gosh, you're already adding an extra round, to a playoff. The lower divisions play that many. The lower divisions also have one fewer regular season game and don't play conference championship games. So I don't know. I understand why they're talking about it now because they've only committed to the 12-team format for 2 years. Yeah. So they need to have those discussions now. But for the people concerned about how much football they play, that's adding another round. That might be a little tough to swallow. I mean, it's not adding another game for everybody. It's only adding another game for, 4 teams. Yeah. 2 teams maybe. But anyways, it's I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. I guess I would say I lean against adding another round until we actually see what this one is.
I agree.
Do
you like the 5+7?
Yeah,
that feels right.
I didn't really see. I didn't see how you could do it any other way reasonably. You couldn't leave the. I didn't think they were going to ever go for having two, possibly almost guaranteed 2 non-major champions automatically in the playoff. Those conferences are just not strong enough, top to bottom, to merit more than one.
All right. How often are you putting up brackets now? Is it almost every day, or how you living?
Oh yeah, every day started Monday. Actually, usually it's the last 2 weeks, but this year they asked for a little longer, so I've been doing every day, starting on last Monday. So. Yep, daily now.
All right, so you get a new haircut, you get your makeup done, all that stuff. A lot
the
of
haircut's
TV?
Next week.
Yeah.
I don't do my own makeup, and I don't need it until I'm actually on television.
That's beautiful.
I mean, I probably need it all the time.
How
but
much?
They don't care unless I'm on television.
How much? How much more does your social media light up, and how much more are you called an idiot now than you are on a regular basis?
I get called an idiot or something like that much more often this time of year.
Yeah.
I'm actually on social media a little bit less.
That's a good call.
Now, just because of the demands of, I get more demands on me from my employers. It doesn't leave me as much time for social media, but I still try to get there. It's not like I'm never there. It's just I'm not on it as much as I was, say, 5 years ago.
Yeah, appreciate you spending time with us. I know your time is really valuable, especially this time of year. Always is, but I know everybody wants you. We're reading you every day. We're looking at you every day. We hear your name. I love when Pete Gillen says, Jerry Palm. He's a terrific player, Jerry Palm. He's a terrific player, Carter. He's a terrific player. That's a bad drinking game. You'll get hammered if you play the terrific.
And I can't play a lick, but that's okay.
Oh, he's a terrific player, Carter. No, get the ball to Jerry Palm. He's a terrific player, Carter. We appreciate the time. We'll read you every day, and we'll catch up with you next Thursday.
All right, thanks.
All right, be well. He is Jerry Palm. He's a terrific player, Carter. He gets his haircut next week. It's a lot of TV time for the big TV star.
You think they'd have a hair stylist on staff?
He says they don't do his own makeup.
Well, he said at home he doesn't, but he always needs it.
Yeah, I keep sending him New Mexico Bowl swag every year, and now he's letting New Mexico Bowl swag. Because his little home bag, I'm hoping one day to just see like the football or one of our pieces right behind it on the CBS.
That would actually be really cool. The logo, it would look good on TV too.
Yeah, that'd be good. All right, Donovan Dent. I got a few more, JJ. Here, I got Slashing Donnie, Downtown Donovan, Donnie Diabolic. That's from Jeffrey. Adrian's is really good. Jean-Claude Van Dent. Here, you know what I like, JJ? The finisher.
Solid.
He's the finisher. There's already the answer, right? There's already one dude named the answer, but it's just the finisher. We'll talk to Donovan Dent at 9 o'clock here on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Hour.
This report is...
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. See your baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit HansWhitlerAuto.com.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
It's Dwight Goodman!
Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom! Boom!
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in Burquia. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you. I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit HansWhitlerAuto.com.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Meyer here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
You'll have the Mountain West Conference. Washington Post wrote a story this morning. If you still don't respect San Diego State, well, what's wrong with you? That's the headline. It's a little good. I'm going to tell you, obviously that's great for San Diego State. But that's good East Coast pub for this league, don't you think? A little Washington Post love for a Mountain West Conference team. Yeah, they went to the final last year. Like, what's wrong with you? Do people have a problem respecting Butler?
People have a problem respecting Butler.
Butler went to the final game twice, right?
Yeah.
Final four twice in a row. Almost beat Duke.
No.
What's the difference? They did it twice. They're in the Big East. They're further east.
Geography.
Okay, they're further east. Okay. Yeah, I mean they call that the Midwest, don't they?
They do.
Yeah. All right. Anything stand out from what Jerry had to say to you?
It's in the moment, and that's what you got to realize. I think it's the beauty of being able to talk with Jerry Palm is kind of learning to think like a committee member. And it's about, the day to day, and it's really like we can sit here and say, what if team wins X of 9 games or whatever down the stretch? You're like, yeah, they're probably going to be in good position, but it's really focusing on bubble life and the day to day moments, and the work that he does. It's great to be able to see these kind of updated in real time every day of where a team sits, what else is going on, and the thing to focus on is all those bubble teams. If you're on the 8-9 line, look at all those other 8-9 seeds, look at the 7 seeds, and then also look at the first 4 teams that are playing, because those are all the teams that you're getting compared to right now if you're in New Mexico on that 8 seed line.
I thought one of the big points he made, and it answered a question directly from one of our listeners, why do computers love San Diego State? And he said, I believe he said this, right? All of their losses have been quad 1 losses. Their best 3 wins are away from home. Now they're neutral court wins. No, one of them's a true road. But they're away from home. They won at Gonzaga. They beat St. Mary's and Washington on neutral courts. And so that's I appreciate him explaining that. They're 5-7 against quad 1. They're undefeated against quads 2 and 3. That's a big deal. Their non-conference strength of schedule is ranked 14th. I'm just reading you metrics. There's no editorial in this.
The difference is strength of schedule.
New Mexico's non-conference strength of schedule is 267 out of 350.
So it's not always about having to beat top 50 teams. It's just not. You didn't play a bunch of 200 plus teams. And top 100, top 150 are good, because you look at some games where initially you're like, is that really a good win? But like Washington, they're like 70, 75 in a net. That's solid. That's a top 100 win. And those are the things that are going to push you up or down at this point in time. Like, these are all worthy tournament teams in the Mountain West, but the difference between 4 or 5 seed right now and an 8 seed is just the overall body of work.
All right. What about, here you go, Donomite. That's on the text line. My name is Donald. I've heard a lot of nicknames in my life, but in relation to Donovan Dent closing out several Lobo wins with a final layup at the buzzer, Donnie Big Shot seems to say it all. Go Lobos. Okay. Thank you, Don. This one says the Don or Big Shot Don. See? That's kind of where this is leaning. Okay. What else you got on here? D Squared. This is from Dennis. He likes D Squared. Donovan Dent, double D.
Do you know his middle name? Could it be D Cube?
I don't know. We could ask him. I mean, he's going to schedule to be on with us in 5 minutes.
Yes, that's something to consider.
There's a lot to ask him. Put it on the list. What's your middle name? What?
Hey, nice shot. What's your middle name?
You just hit a shot that maybe saved their season, but what's your middle name?
We're just focused on nicknames for you today, Donovan. Nothing else.
I mean, I know. Good morning, and I know you got class here in about 10 minutes. But what's your middle name? What's your sign?
What's your favorite candy? You like candy corn?
I mean, nobody likes candy corn. I mean, everybody likes watermelon Jolly Ranchers instead of candy. Even people in Boise
cannot make that kind of statement.
You don't think so?
Nobody likes candy corn.
Nobody likes candy.
Of all the things you've said on this show.
That's the dumbest one I've said. Of all the things, that's the dumbest one. All right, looking forward to conversation. We are scheduled here in about 4 minutes to have a conversation with Donovan Dent, Donnie Big Shot Don, Donnie Too Smooth, Donnie Deuces, the Don, the Detonator, D-Train, the Finisher. What was that? Jean-Claude Van Dent. That's a good one.
It's a good list.
Yeah. I'll read him, see if he likes any of them. Although you don't get to pick your own nickname, right?
Traditionally, no, but I feel like we're setting him up to do that.
Let me see if he likes it.
Oh, yeah.
Just
liking it doesn't mean he picked it.
Yeah. Double D, D Squared, Donnie Dominator.
The D.
The Doninator. Donination. It's Donnination. It's the opening drive. Donovan Dent scheduled to be with us next on The Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you.
I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach, my teacher, My older sisters. My grandma. My brother. My tutor. My dad and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman!
This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom! Boom!
Donovan Dent goes coast to coast with what proved to be the game winner and a huge win for the Lobos last night. 68-66 at the pit. Lobos win. The difference between waking up this morning in third place with a chance still at the conference championship and waking up in seventh place with a whole lot of work to do. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck. He's been called a lot of things this morning, all of them good, from Donnie Big Shot to Big Shot Don to the Detonator to Donnie Deuces to the finisher. He is Donovan Dent. He joins us this morning on the Sports Animal. Good morning, Donovan. How you living?
I'm good. How are you guys doing over there?
We're good. Congratulations. That was a big one last night. You get the ball. Was that called? Was that planned? Or was that all Donovan Dent saying, give me the ball, I want it, and I'm going to take it into my hands?
That's on Coach P. He trusted me with the ball at the end of the game, and it was just me and my man one-on-one, open court, and I won the battle with it.
Were you surprised they didn't pick up full court and let you get ahead of steam?
I think they thought we were going to call a timeout, just trying to get the ball up fast, so Coach P trusted me, and we kind of went from there.
There's guys who want it, guys who have it, and I've always talked about it, the intangible. And obviously you've got it. You go back to what happened at New Mexico State back on December 15th and what happened last night. You feel like you want the ball, don't you?
100% in those moments. I feel like every player wants the ball, so it's so good to get the ball.
See, I don't know that I think every player wants the ball. I think there's special players who want it. Where does that come from? Like knowing there's a confidence. Obviously, you play with a swagger. You play with a smoothness and a confidence. Where does that come from, Don?
I think it's just all the hard work you put on outside of the game and all that. It's all the workouts. You build confidence to it, and that's where you get the confidence for sure.
Donovan Dent is with us here on the Sports Animal this morning.
And Donovan, what's it like to play on a team, in those moments? We just saw Jamal Mashburn Jr. do it last week. Jalen House can hit a big shot, and he did late in that game. You have yourself, but the confidence this team has knowing that there's three go-to players in clutch moments in a game. What's that like to play with?
That's huge because then no one can focus on one player at the end of the game. They have to guard everyone equal, and it's just huge for all of us because we all got matchups one-on-one from there.
What's it been like working with this team and growing throughout the season? And there's high expectations that you guys set for yourself. What's the day-to-day process like to reach those expectations?
It's been fun this season. We've had a lot of good ups and a lot of little bit downs, but every day we just keep working every day, just staying consistent and trying to be the best people we can.
You were here last year, and at the end of the season last year, Coach Pitino said, we've got to get better defensively. We just have to. And you had a core of three really good guards coming back. But it feels, just by watching it, the whole defensive intensity is turned up, or certainly the productivity. How much of a difference and how much of a priority has that been made? Because I think you would admit, right, this team is better defensively than you were a year ago.
100%. I think that started during summer. We worked a lot on defense because we know we could score the ball, and that wasn't our problem last year. We have to learn how to get stops in big moments, kind of like last night. There's 2 seconds after that layup. we still have to get that big stop. So I think that's all Coach P and the coaching staff, and a lot of Jalen House is bringing intensity on the defensive end and bringing us all up with it.
Yeah, on that last play. So they inbound the ball. They get it at just inside half court with 2.8 to go. I thought Jalen did a great job on keeping the ball away from Stevens. What did Coach Pitino say in that huddle? You don't want the ball to go right anywhere. Nick Clifford got a relatively good look at it, but I thought Jalen did a great job keeping the ball away from Stevens.
Jalen did a great job of denying Stevens, and Nelly did a great job of staying down and not fouling Clifford there at the end on the last shot, and we just stayed solid. Switched the ball screen, and it was great defense. Yeah,
he's Donovan Dent, who hit the game winner last night in probably the biggest win of the year to date for New Mexico basketball.
Donovan, you look at the effort, of course, you guys are putting in on the perimeter, but then JT Toppin, Nelly Jr. Joseph. What's it like to have those guys as rim protectors and knowing that the work they can do when you guys are playing the ball screen, and if someone does happen to get by you, they have to run into those guys?
It's a great feeling. JT is a great rim protector. Same with Nelly, walling up. He got a bad foul call on a great block last night. So always got to take better pride on the ball, and if we get beat, we got to rotate and help the base because they're helping us down there.
What's it, just, as a competitor, what's it like at this point in the season when you guys, every single night it's a big-time environment, it's a big-time game. What's it like being able to play in these games?
It's kind of what you look forward to. We were saying in the huddle last night with 2 minutes, this is what you play for. These are the games you want to play in, the moments you want to be in. So it's a great feeling to have a good lead like this where we have constant matches where we need a winner. It's a great feeling.
Donovan, we've been talking about how big the game was, and I thought last week's win at Nevada was the biggest win of the season, but you had to have last night. You had to. You lost 2 in a row at home with all your goals in front of you. Again, the difference between Colorado State wakes up in 7th place this morning. You wake up in 3rd with the 2 teams in front of you still on your schedule. Can you put it into perspective? Because I think when we say it, we're not there. Maybe it doesn't carry the same weight. For you guys, how big of a game was that last night?
That win for us lets us control our own future, really, with the standings in the Mountain West. So that's a huge win for us. It was a must-win, and I'm very proud of the team. That's a great team win.
Yeah. I look at this, and with you and with the 2 freshmen, what True Washington's doing, what JT's doing. Do you guys talk about the future at all, or is this, Coach Pitino says it's a 1 year at a time situation? Do you talk about the future, or is this all about just focus on this year?
All about this year. All we're worrying about is what we're going to do throughout this season. That's all we care about.
Yeah, and you look at this year, and do you guys look at brackets? Do you look at the bracketology? Jerry Palm from CBS Sports was just on with us about 10, 15 minutes ago, and he's got you as an 8 seed playing Texas in the first round, and if you win, you get Purdue in the next round. Do you look at any of that stuff, or is it best to not?
I mean, we see it, of course. It's all over social media, but it's not really our focus right now. We're about winning and getting into the tournament. That's our main focus.
Donovan Dent is with us just for a few more minutes. Donovan hit the big shot, drove coast to coast with 2.8 seconds to go at the pit last night. Lobos beat Colorado State, the 22nd ranked team of the country, 68-66.
Donovan, when you made the decision to go to the University of New Mexico, I know this was probably one of your goals, to be on an NCAA tournament team, but what have you thought about your journey so far to be, almost at the end of your sophomore season, but being a point guard of a team, playing for a conference championship, playing for a chance to get to an NCAA tournament? How has the journey been for you?
It's been amazing. My committee here, Coach T, told me we're going to have a bright future. We had a good year 1. We had some ups and downs at the end of the season. So this year we're just fixing them, patching them out, and we're doing exactly what we want to do.
Donovan, have you ever had a nickname? Has anything ever stuck?
Not that I know of. No, I have a couple funny nicknames, but none that's stuck. Just Didi or Donnie.
We got a bunch of that we can't say on the radio too. But literally, I was going through this whole thing today, and I just said you're just Donnie Big Shot, and then it turned into Big Shot Don, and everybody's been sending stuff in, the Detonator and Big Shot Donnie and Donnie Too Smooth and Donnie Deuces. I like the finisher. I've got the slashing Donnie. Literally, people are just sending them in. Do you like any of those? Does Donnie Big Shot work for you, or
Donnie Big Shot's kind of funny to me. I like that one a lot.
Yeah. And then one guy, Jean-Claude Van Dent, I thought was pretty funny too, which was good. And I know you don't get to pick your nickname necessarily, but Donnie Big Shot feels right. I called the play at New Mexico State, the Donnie Dagger. Do you like Donnie? You like Donovan? What do your buddies call you?
I go by Donnie. Everyone does call me Donnie. I don't really call Donovan that often.
Yeah, one guy called. He says, "I don't know, man. Give a man respect. Call him Donovan." So Donnie Big Shot's kind of the one you like.
Yeah, Donnie Big Shot. That's my favorite one so far. I've seen a couple funny ones. That's a good one right there.
I'm down with that, and the finisher to me because it's so big. How is that conversation? Do you guys practice a situation in practice during the week? Okay, there's like that situation last night. Is there a play for you? Is there a play for House? Is there a play for Mash? Is there a play to get it down low? How does that played out during the week?
So in moments like that, I think, of course, we need like a three, we go different route and all that. But we have to go full age in the core. I think Coach P, that's like the third time this year we've had a play like that, where I banana cut straight to the one-on-one. But I think we don't really practice it, but like we know what to run at in the game, and it's huge every time.
Yeah, and I look around, man. The last 55 seconds, and JJ was talking about this earlier, Mash hits a big shot. He hits 2 free throws. The House shot that he hit off balance with 10 seconds to go could have been the winner.
Yep.
Then he fouls Stevens at the end. I thought composure was the biggest thing. And so, Donnie, look, here's where I am with this. I think this team's really good. The one thing that you guys hadn't necessarily had to do is win a close game at the pit, right? You've been beating teams by double digits. Yeah. I thought last night was such a huge step from that perspective.
Hey, we just can't get, like, in them moments like that at the last minute, like, we can't get too high and we can't get too low. Because it was a crazy last minute. Cartier's 3-2, and Matt, it was just insane. So we just kind of stuck together and didn't get too high and didn't get too low to that final buzzer. So it was great to win a game like that in the pit, because I think we lost 2 in a row on some tough ones. So to get that one is very huge for us.
He's Donovan Dent, the Lobo guard, with us, or Donnie Big Shot, if you prefer, with us just for a few more minutes here on the Sports Animal.
Donnie, when you look at a game like last night and you're coming off the emotions of it, is it one where, man, are you up just thinking about things? Are you able to sleep much easier that you get the victory and get some rest after a game like that?
100%. I mean, we didn't win now, and that was a hard loss as well. I think we're up a good margin at the 3-minute mark. So like for us to finally pull that one out and get an ugly win, which is we need more of, is huge for us.
I guess your ankle's okay, huh?
Yeah, my ankle's 100%.
100%. Hey, congratulations. It was a big win. You got Air Force coming on Saturday. You go to Boise next week, and still a lot more work to do. But appreciate you getting up this morning. I know you got class here in a few minutes, so go take care of that part of it. But you are the finisher. He's Donnie Big Shot, and he's with us this morning. Appreciate you spending some time with us, Donovan.
I appreciate you guys. Thanks for having me.
All right, be well. Donnie Big Shot on the Sports Animal. Is that where we've settled now? I mean, he kind of likes that. I kind of like it.
Yeah, it sounds like the one he likes.
I mean, like
you win 2 games, you earn that one.
Well, look, I've got a few that I can't tell you on the air either that I really, 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 really like. But I mean, the other one I'm going to go, he's the finish. He's the finish. Jeff, you don't get to, it's 3 times. I mean, 3 times the trend, right? JJ, you like that? That was pretty good, huh?
It was.
How do you not like that young man?
I like him a lot. I like this team a lot.
It's a good team to like. All right, you can respond to that, and that'll be posted wherever you get your podcast. You can go and listen to that. It's the opening drive. Jeff, this one's good too. The dentist. He keeps us smiling, and our opponents hate to see him. That's actually really, really, really good. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
You make my heart better. Try this shit better than all my intentions. Locked in shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you.
I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
If you're drunk, blasted,
Intoxicated.
rip, plastered, taint, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
Burglary takes place in the United States approximately every 15 seconds. International Protective Service is your answer for commercial and residential security in all of Albuquerque. IPS will work with your monitoring company for fast, reliable response times. You can rest easy knowing you, your family, or your company is watched over by International Protective Service. Call International Protective Service today.
Your surprisingly great rates? Contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman! Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom! Boom!
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls.
and that, you know, the coach says, you know, go. That's our guy. Donnie's going to take it to the rim. Can I throw another angle at this whole thing? And it'll be determined at the end, and you guys will make your determination on this when it's all said and done. Okay. And I'm not telling you he's coach of the year, but I think the job Richard's doing with this team on a number of fronts. Okay. And I brought this up a number of times to you, how they address something. And it's one thing to say, we've got to get better. And it's another to see results, right? It's inarguable that they're better defensively, right? And he addressed it at the end of last season, right? Do we agree on that?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me tell you, the way he's managed this backcourt. Now, you may tell me, I don't know, Baker's not getting enough, or what happened to Mushila, or I want to see more Applehans or Quentin Webb, whatever. They're 21-6, and they're going to be in the NCAA tournament. The way he's managed the backcourt and managed not just the minutes and the ball sharing, but I got to believe Eagles. JJ, Jamal Mashburn came into this year as one of the best shooters in the country. Jalen House was one of the so the high-profile backcourt. This was one of the best backcourts in the West, one of the best backcourts in the country, and it was House and Mashburn. Okay, they're on the poster. I'm staring at the poster. It's right there. And to be able to not only keep Donovan here, but to have, and again, when the 30 for 30 is written, I mean, after the season, we'll hear all the stories, I imagine. But what seems like a well-meshed unit where these two seniors have not only accepted this sophomore, and granted, the injuries early in the season to both House and Mashburn gave Donovan more playing time, right? But he's obviously earned their respect. And to watch the way this is meshed, you've got three dynamic guards, and as you said earlier, one basketball. I got to give Richard and the staff a whole lot of credit for being able to, up to now, with 4 games left of the regular season, make this thing work and make it work well.
Well, it's a trust that the coaching staff has built, and since day one, Rich Pitino says he doesn't sugarcoat anything. It's like, this is the expectations, this is what we think of you, and you like it or you don't like it. Then you have to make your decision from there. And I think a big thing in this is the character of the players involved. Like, because Jamal Mashburn Jr. has a pro mindset. And if Jamal Mashburn Jr. isn't who he is, this doesn't work.
I think that's right.
Because he is the third wheel in that backcourt. But as the third wheel, the shots he made down the stretch, going to the basket, finishing at the rim, going back to the Nevada game, that's why he's still on the floor. And I think that there's some people that have overanalyzed this situation because you're just so caught up in the moment about how, you know, he was going to be the downfall. He's not being held accountable, this or that. And I'm like, you got a 9-5 basketball team that's won 21 games, that's in a good spot. And I get discussing games, but I think some people have definitely overanalyzed it to the point of, well, this dude's playing 29 minutes, should be playing 23 minutes, taking 4 shots.
I think it's such a good call on Mash. And I know people are going to point out, you know, look, he shot this in a big game. He scored 4 big points down the stretch in the last 55 seconds last night. He hit the 2 big shots to win the Nevada game. But I agree with you wholeheartedly on his maturity being a big part of this. JJ, he was, if I don't know who's the third wheel, and if you say he is, that's fine. It wasn't long ago he was the key cog in this whole thing, right?
Yes, he was.
And to go from whatever he was, and I do believe he was the key cog, to whatever he is now, it kind of kills me when I hear, every time he misses a shot, I hear the pit, like a groan, right? And yeah, I got an email after the show the other day. You know, people don't hate Mashburn. And I think that's probably right. I don't think anybody hates him. And if I use the word, you know, I don't understand the hate towards him. Maybe that was too strong, and I'll accept that. And I maybe that was the wrong word. But whatever, is disdain fair? Whatever the Lobo fan feels.
He really became someone that they were pinning the struggles on Jamal Mashburn. Like, if this team lost, and like, well, he was 1 of 10, and they should have been on the bench. And yeah, that's, you know, the challenges of any team. And you watch the game of basketball long enough, you understand that it's a make or miss game, and sometimes you're missing shots. But I don't see as many flaws that some people are seeing in Mashburn, you know, which is his effort overall, and, you know, seeing he's just getting torched constantly. And and one of the things you talk about, the effort has to be there, but Richard Pitino also made a conscious effort to do 180 with his post players.
Yeah.
Like getting Nelly Jr. Joseph, he's a rebound defend first guy that can go out there and get you some buckets, so that was key. And then, honestly, like they liked JT Toppin, but the player he became,
they had no idea.
Changes that too, because you have two guys that are defensive presence, and you talk about managing it. Let's talk about Mustafa Amzil. He came in probably thinking he was going to be the starting power forward for the Lobos.
He said in the press conference the other day, I'd rather be starting, but I'm coming off the bench and I accept my role.
And the change in his game in conference play, it's not just hitting shots. That dude is banging with the biggest players in this league. The effort is fantastic from him defensively, and that tells you everything you need to know about this team that we're talking about. Offensive players buying in on the defensive end. And I do want to say one more thing when we're talking about just the backcourt and from Mashburn to House to Dent. Dent specifically said Jalen House sets the tone with his effort. And that's a big thing, is these guys notice what he does, and they're all buying in.
Marty, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hi, Marty.
Hey, guys. Kind of the way I see it is the future is now. I don't know, the future. I can't tell you where we're going to be there next year, so I think you have to take advantage of the opportunities today. These guys can go. They could go. There's a transfer portal. They can go. The loyalty only goes as far as what's available, right? So have to take advantage of what's there right now. Same for Pitino. I mean, he's only as good as his next contract. So some bigger, badder school comes around and they like what he's done here at New Mexico, we could be looking at a whole different Lobo team next year. That's just the reality of college sports. So enjoy it for what it is now. I still think, I disagree with JJ a little bit. I think Dan sets the tone. I think the ball has to go through him. We've seen where Mashburn and House are forcing shots like it was yesterday. I felt like in the first half, that was a lot of their offense, especially the second part of that first half. They were trying to force things. And I think when Dant makes it easier for everybody, the offense just flows. And I think he gets more folks involved, makes it look easy for everybody. So I think he's the key cog to all this. I don't necessarily think it's House. I think we're living in the past if we say it's House. I think Dant has.
Would you agree that House sets the tone defensively?
You know what? If I'm a coach, I'd have a lot of headaches with his defensive style. He tries to guess a lot. He plays a lot with his arms. So, yes, he does nice on steals, but he also leaves a lot of guys open. There's some offensive mismatch with his size as well. My second point, the utilization of the bench a little better. You're going to have games down the road where bigger guards, like we saw with Boise State, I'd like to see Webb and Mushila used a little different. I'd like to see them throw some length out there, You don't expect them to give you 15 points, but just on the defensive side, utilize them a little bit better. That's just my take on it, because I think you're going to need that, especially in the tournament.
All right. No, Marty, thank you. And I think that's what he's using Baker for, right? Like you saw in the last, after the Dent free throw, we subbed Mash out and put Baker in on defense.
Yeah. Quentin Webb's not in the rotation, guys. I like Quentin Webb. Good character dude, has a ton of athleticism. He's not in the rotation.
Go ahead.
And my comment was on House defensively. Donovan Dent's the point guard, guys. I get it. I watch enough basketball just like you do. I'm not saying that House sets the tone. But, this team looks at him for a reason. This team looks at him differently than the fan base does. The House is an energy guy. Maybe he's a little too aggressive, but they needed that. They needed that little bit of extra because they have some shortcomings they have to make up when Dent, House, and Mashburn are on the floor on the perimeter. So you need that extra effort. And I really do like the way all these pieces come together. And, his point of, that's why we're seeing, Pitino do offensive, defensive subs. He has Jamal Baker and he has True Washington if they need to play bigger. They didn't necessarily needed it last night. They wanted the big shot makers on the floor, which is House, Mashburn, and Dent late in the game.
And I think True Washington's going to play those minutes that, he was talking about Mushila and or Webb. Let me give you a little perspective on Dent defensively. And Avery Johnson, who was the commentator, former NBA player, former NBA coach, former college coach, said last night that House should be in the conversation for Defensive Player of the Year nationally. Okay, what's one man's perspective? House is the leading active player. Now, granted, he's a fifth-year guy. More steals than anybody career-wise actively playing in college basketball right now. This year, House is 9th in the nation in steals. He's averaging 2.5 steals per game. JJ, of the 9 players, so there's 8 ahead of him in steals. Only one, and that's Shonda Wells from, I don't even know what MCN is. What school is, do you know what, if I said MC, oh, it's from McNeese. Shonda Wells is the only one ahead of him averaging more steals, who's averaging more points. Look, stats are what they are, but I'll take House defensively all day because does he get beat every once in a while? And we love to point out the negative, but he makes plays, man, all night long. He bothers people. He's a pest. He takes the ball away. Yeah, does he get over aggressive, play with his arms? Like the foul that he committed at half court on Stevens with 7 seconds ago could have cost him a game, JJ. It could have. Mm-hmm. Right? We could be having a totally different conversation right now if Donnie Big Shot doesn't go the length of the court, if the dentist doesn't perform root canal and go coast to coast, right? And floss the Rams. Drill them, clean them.
It's good. And this is...
Put braces on them.
And I understand when people are watching this offense, if, House or Mash take an ill-advised shot, they're going to lose their mind because Donovan Dent's on the floor. But maybe there's a little more leeway from Richard Pitino to let those guys take a couple of those shots because of who they are. But that's also, show me a basketball game where you get a good shot every single possession down the floor. Show me a basketball game where every single offensive possession is perfect flow. So I don't get as caught up in that as some people do. If Donovan didn't create the play, and okay, if I think there's a little bit of a balance. We're talking about these guys playing in the same backcourt. Sometimes you want to let shooters take a shot, and it's not always going to be a great shot. But when you look at where this team is, they're in a pretty good place.
All right, got a break. We're late. Phones are ringing at 505-246-0610. You guys keep coming with the... We got 3 pages of text today. So use the text line. It's there for you. It's 505-246-0610. That's also the phone line. Back at you, what you have to say. I got some more cool ones for you. I don't know if we're settled on Donnie Big Shot or the dentist. The dentist is so damn good. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Channel.
The Mad.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you. I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action
ProView Networks.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Well, I'm going to the Frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Donnie Big Shot. Donovan Dent was with us, the finisher, the dentist. We'll have that up. Is it already up? Wherever you get your podcast, it'll be up soon. And it'll be on our website, sportsanimalabq.com. Click on the opening drive and you can listen to that. D-Dazzle, says the text line. The Dentastic Don. Dentzilla. Dentastic. Donnie Butter. What about Donomite? And then this one says, what if a player likes and picks a bad nickname? All right. Then you change it, I guess. Jeff, excellent interview with Donovan Dent, a.k.a. Donnie Big Shot. Such a great player, and the Lobo fans love it. Great win last night for sure. Thanks, Jeff. It's John in the Duke City. 505-246-0610. Rudy, thanks for holding here on the Sports Animal. Good morning, Rudy.
Good morning. A little tired, voice a little scratchy, but that was the reason why the pit is so special. Everybody was on their feet. Dent put I think it was Lake, wasn't it, that was trying to defend him? Yeah. He put him on roller skates. I mean, that guy just never had a shot. And I've watched the play now 4 times. He took 4 dribbles to get there.
Is that all it was?
4.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Right about the free throw line is where he crosses over, and there's nobody there. I mean, it's like the seas parted. And you would think after all year watching that, they'd have something better for that. They'd have a rim protector. But if you look at that play, out on the wings, there's Mashburn and there's House just waiting to shoot the ball too. So this is my point. You can't try to split this team up, and people who are trying to pick on Mashburn or House, they'll defend each other. And this is a true team. They all play together. They play for each other. We wouldn't have won the game without Nelly Jr. Joseph having the game he had, even though Toppin wasn't his normal self. He got in there and he battled. Mustafa Amzil battled. And for the guys that are sitting on the bench, their time's coming, right?
I'd like to believe so. Yeah, I'd like to believe so. It's going to be interesting. Like Richard said, 1 year at a time. It's funny you said they knew it was coming. I was with my daughter, and I said, somebody's got to get to the rim, and I saw how they set up the play. I said, watch, Donovan's going straight to the rim. They're going to take Donovan. And she's like, Dad, how did you know that? If you know it, how did they not know it? And I'm like, they probably did. It's a lot harder to stop it when a guy's that good.
Absolutely. Now, I want to put a bug in everybody's ear. You want Donovan Dent back next year? You want True Washington back next year? You want all these guys back next year? Join the 505 Collective. Join the Lobo Club. Put your money where your mouth is, and you'll see the results. And we can keep these kids if we show them that they're getting all the love. And you can go to another program, and it might not work out. Look at Josiah Alec at Nebraska. His minutes have continued to go down all year.
Javante
he would have been a
Johnson.
big part of this team.
Yeah,
Javante
didn't take his sweats off last
really
week.
Made a difference.
Yeah, Javante Johnson's on Colorado State. He didn't take his sweats off last week.
No. And those are guys that had built up value on this team. So the grass isn't always greener on the other side. And when you have 14,000 people at an 8 o'clock game on a Wednesday night, There's no other venue that does that except for the top maybe 5 programs in the country.
Yeah, that's good stuff, Rudy.
You know,
I appreciate you. Thanks. Hey,
Appreciate you. Thanks
on the NIL thing, and DC, you just hit me with something, and I have not found it yet. You were telling me something about St. John's, one of their big supporters, coming out and saying, "I'm going to give you a blank check, go get players."
Yeah, essentially that's exactly what happened. His name's Mike Rapole. He's a billionaire out of the East Coast. He had Body Armor drinks, and he had some other beverage companies that he's brought up and sold in the past. He's worth over $10 billion, and he basically said that he's
sick of this.
Yeah, I'm sick of this. I'm going to write a check. You just tell me what you need.
Go out and get players.
Get what you need. Yep.
Yeah. And that's where this is going, man.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what he was just talking about. All right, keep them coming. 505-246-0610. Jeffrey, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hi, Jeffrey.
You know, to Rudy's point, I'm still fatigued from the game last night, and you know, he makes a really interesting point. I mean, I've gone to Dodger games, Cowboy games, I've been to Eagle concerts, but the intensity when the Lobos are playing well and there's a game of consequence, it has the strangest intense effect on fans. You know, that I literally couldn't sleep last night, and I know it's irrational, but the intensity of that building is absolutely incredible. It's palpable. And you've got to love that Albuquerque did something right in 1965, 66, when they built that iconic structure. And we're talking 70 years ago, 60 years ago. It was built, and it was the most iconic building, you know, west of the Mississippi. And I just really appreciate, as an Albuquerque native, that intensity when the Lobos are playing a game of consequence and when the Lobos are good. I mean, it really means something. And the forethought of the people that built that structure 65, 70 years ago is incredible. And lastly, you know, last year we probably don't win this game, probably don't win the Nevada game. I mean, think about it. Toppin didn't play particularly well last night. Neither did the Dayton transfer. Is it Amsel? I think it was.
Amsel.
Yeah, and yet we still win because, as you pointed out earlier, Pitino recognized the obvious flaw of the team last year was we were defensively compromised. And he basically built a team around defense first, because we actually play different styles of offense. Like last night we didn't play a particularly aggressive offensive style. We still win the game. But I just wanted to point out how lucky we are as fans that go. I mean, I pay a lot of money for my seats and all that, but there is no other experience in terms of entertainment like the Pit when there's a game of consequence on the line, and when we have a good team. There is nothing
it's
like
special.
it.
It is. No, it's great.
We should really appreciate that.
Jeffrey, thanks.
Thanks, guys.
DC, you finally did the Pit, and I try to tell people who haven't been here, and my buddy in Reno came, and he's like, "Wow, no, you're right." And, you know, he can do what he wants to do. He goes to a lot of places. That building has its own personality in a lot of respects, and yeah, it is special. There's not a lot of venues like that.
That is true. And I've been to a lot of these venues. It is totally unique. I think about Allen Fieldhouse a little bit, because it has that same energy. It's filled
Kansas.
every single
Yeah.
night. Yep.
Yeah.
Difference there, it's like all wood, so it has a different acoustic value. But the Pit is different, man. It is different. The
It is
idea
special.
that you fill it up Wednesday night, 8 o'clock, like that is kind of unheard of. They're not doing that in Manhattan, Kansas. They're not doing it a lot of other places.
Edward, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hi, Edward.
Yeah, good morning. Well, it's nice to hear Jeffrey, always eloquent, consistently. You know, the Pit is the star of this program, quite honestly, the last 60-some years. It's just an amazing venue, and it's a bit dated and antiquated, but it's still nice. And
that's part of the charm. It literally is part of the charm.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I completely agree, Jeff. Hey, Dent is amazing. For him to beat that chill in those big moments. I'd like to. I didn't hear the interview with Jerry Palm, but I'd like to see the Lobos finish strong and get off that 8-9 line. You know, potentially, and it's almost better to be a 10 or an 11 seed than to get off the 8-9 line. But I think they can build some momentum. I think it's great for the community. And Jeff, last year I called and I went to the Pac-12 tournament, if I venture to Vegas and we hit all the nice restaurants, I'm going to hit the Mountain West because it's a better conference, quite honestly, this year.
Better tournament.
Arizona notwithstanding, or UCLA. But, yeah, I think it's going to be great, and I'm looking forward to it. So, hey, by the way, I really enjoy you following up on the police situation and parking. And, you wear many hats, and I think that the guy sent an email, and you followed up diligently, provided answers, provided detail. That's awesome. I thoroughly appreciate it.
Thanks,
Have a great day.
I appreciate it. I just didn't want to do that one until I have a little bit of information on it. Yeah, dude, I'll be credentialed for the Pac-12 and the Mountain West, but I see way more interest this year, especially in the Mountain West. I just think it's going to be a better tournament. Now, the Pac-12 may be really good because they're really evenly matched too. I mean, Washington State and UCLA is finally playing better, and I just want to go see Mick Cronin and so we can look each other in the eye again. But JJ, I mean, where would you rather spend your time this year, Mountain West or the Pac-12?
Mountain West.
It's going to be. I just think. Yeah, we're going, and I think it's going to be spectacular. All right, you want to wrap it up? When do you roll out of Boise? When do you go to Laramie?
Tomorrow.
So you're in Boise all day?
Yep.
I got some people. Well, we'll talk. Get some potatoes. Have you had good potatoes? Like, what's your best potato dish so far?
Haven't had any potatoes yet.
Stunning. I didn't even know you could go up there and not have potatoes.
Yeah. Have you eaten anything yet?
Yeah.
You doing okay?
That's right.
Oh yeah. I've ate, just not had some
carrots.
French fries, but they weren't like.
Well, that's potato.
That's potato. That counts.
Idaho specific. It was a Chick-fil-A across the street.
They get their with their Louisiana potatoes. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman! Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet.
Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight. Boom. Boom.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is Pro View. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on Pro View Networks.
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here. And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay. We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field. 505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space. And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Light skin shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
burglary takes place in the United States approximately every 15 seconds. International Protective Service is your answer for
Sports Animal. All right, wrapping you up on a Thursday. We're going to get into Justin Fields tomorrow. We will. In DC, hold on to that stuff. I know you've cut up what Justin Fields had to say. JJ's in Boise. I'm downtown Borque. Thank you to Donovan Dent for being with us after a dramatic 68-66 Lobo win in the pit last night over 22nd ranked Colorado State. JJ, we'll get into Justin Fields and the Bears, and just because you don't follow a girl on Instagram doesn't mean you're not getting with her. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Says the married guy. I don't even know what that means. Sure.
What's Insta face?
It'd be Insta Snap Face, Snap Face, or Insta Chat, or whatever it's called. That's right, Bill Belichick. What are people going to be talking about? Well, they're going to be talking about Lobo's victory over Colorado State last night, 68-66. Donovan Dent with the winner. If you missed it, it's going to be up wherever you get your podcast. Go take a listen. He was really good. Lobo women on the road lose in Boise 58-55 to the Broncos. JJ, Danny Bays hit a three-pointer with 12 seconds left. That had to be a rough ride back to the hotel.
Bummer. But this is kind of what we're discussing about. What's the response? You wake up today, have practice in a little bit, get your mindset right, because you have a chance to split this week. And if you beat Wyoming, then you hold the tiebreaker over the Cowgirls, because this race in the Mountain West on the women's side, and we're talking about the men's side, yeah, UNLV is locked up the top seed on the women's side, but we got Boise State, Wyoming, UNM 9-5, San Diego State 9-6. And so playing for a top 5 seed, you're playing try to stay opposite UNLV for as long as possible, and a lot rides on this game on Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, if the 2 or the 3 are on the other side of the bracket, you got a chance to get to the final, and it's going to be hard to get in. You're going to tell me, well, they beat UNLV already there. Yeah, it's going to be tough to knock them off again. So they're up. Aggies play tonight. They're actually on CBS Sports tonight, JJ. The New Mexico State Sam Houston game is the Conference USA game. It'll be 7 o'clock. They get a better time slot than New Mexico does.
How do they do that? How do they pull that off?
They get a better time. They get to go at 7 o'clock as opposed to 8 o'clock or 8:30.
Strongly worded email incoming.
Is that where it is? Did you see Lenardi? And it was on Van Pelt, so he was showing Lenardi's brackets and 6 Mountain West teams, and they said New Mexico. And so it said New Mexico, but the logo was not New Mexico. It was New Mexico State. And at the end of Sports Center, Van Pelt came on with a Lobo logo up on his side screen, and he says, "Lobo fans, I hear you. We're sorry. We know this is your logo. Nothing worse than showing your arch rivals logo." Like he apologized. It's on us. Sorry. They corrected it, but boy, another UNMSU issue up there. Did you see that at all?
No, I missed that one.
Yeah, it's all over the interwebs, the Snap Face or the X Chat or whatever you kids call it today. I'm kidding, kind of. All right, did I empty out all the stuff that you guys sent in? Great stuff, by the way, on the nicknames today. Deadeye Donnie. Double duty. Not only does he score, he makes it easier for everyone else to score. It's from Marty. Double duty Donnie. All right. The dentist. Boston liked that one because you have to explain it, you said.
I still like it. I think it's good. I feel like, though, the way he cut through that lane, that there's some way that we can build on that. But, I mean, he kind of flossed his way through, which builds on the dentist name, so maybe that's one.
Yeah. In California, they call the diamond lane, or the carpool lane, the diamond lane. So, like, when there's traffic, the HOV lanes, as you call them in other places, high occupancy vehicles, which high occupancy is more than one person. They call it the diamond lane. I don't know, Diamond Lane Donnie, because he gets through, you know what I mean? That would work in Cali.
Diamond Donnie Dent?
Diamond Donnie Dent? Donnie Diamonds? Donnie Big Shot's pretty good. Oh, then there's like the Donnie Brazos, you know what I'm saying? Donnie Culians, you know?
I mean, to me, that says it all. I'd like that one a lot, too.
Yeah, Donnie with a set. I get it. I get it. All right, so you're up in Boise. Decent weather today up there? You all right?
Sun's out.
All right.
Solid day.
Guns out. All right, JJ, he's going to get his swell on today. He'll get his workout in. Tomorrow, kicking it with Kenny. I wonder what Kenny. I listened to a little of their show last night too. But what Kenny had to say, it was good stuff. We'll hear from Kenny Thomas tomorrow. Jim Rome Show is next. The Herd with Colin Cowers after that. 2 Men On is here at 4. We're back tomorrow morning with award-winning radio starting at 7 a.m. Thank you to Jerry Palm, CBS Sports, and Donovan Dent, or Donnie Big Shot. Both of those will be up wherever you get your podcasts, so go give them a listen. Adrian, great work today. I liked Adrian's too, by the way. Claude Von Dent. That was really good. Jean-Claude Von Dent. Great work today, man. I know you're struggling back there and you had issues. Great work. Big day, JJ?
Huge day.
Enjoy it. Be good to each other, please. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. We'll smell you tomorrow.
Commercial and residential security in all of Albuquerque. IPS will work with your monitoring company for fast, reliable response times.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you. I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman! Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight. Boom! Boom!
Seriously? You expect me to drive while you aren't wearing seatbelts?
What's the worst that can happen?
Seriously? Buckle up.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.